desiring and deserving peace and freedom will not assure either, much less both. When the alternatives are measured honestly, objectively, and clear-eyed, we can see that the price that we pay today for our peace and freedom is not heavy.
I tried to put myself back before the ceremony when I strolled around the graves, looking at guys from 50 different states, that airmen and soldiers alike, who were probably machinists and guys off the block, college kids, factory workers, farm boys, who all wanted just to live in a peaceful world, and one day were sucked up into a world of war. And these are the guys that didn't get to go home, that we often mistakenly take our peace for granted, our freedom for granted, because these guys didn't go home, and that they're out there now because of that.
When I seen the names of the people that had died here, that there was privates as well as officers and lieutenants and all, and that there's somebody from every state in the United States had died, is buried out there, and that just shows a symbol of how strong we are as the United States.
Speaking for the more than 40% of the United States Armed Forces that are stationed in overseas countries, I can assure you that we have dedicated to the cause of freedom. And some of the representatives of those soldiers that you see standing here and performing so well are indicative of that common cause. So we pause here to honor America's dead. And as we do so, let us remember what brought these soldiers here so far from home, that they died for that reason. And let us remember that a similar reason still exists. Freedom is perishable. And as a great president of the United States, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, once said, peace, like war, can succeed only where there is a will to enforce it and where there is available power to enforce it. May these soldiers rest in everlasting tranquility while we enjoy the peace and help to protect that peace that they helped us win.
It's a kind of a awesome feeling when you walk through there and you see all them headstones. I know when I was driving up here, they told me, I asked how many people were buried there. They said about 8,000. You really don't think about it, and then you walk out there and you see 8,000 headstones, 1,700 names of the missing. It's hard to fathom that many people died. You know? It's a different feeling knowing that one of these days, if the world doesn't change, we could end up in one of those places, you know, and somebody be out there doing the same for us. It makes me appreciate that they did it, so I don't have to right now, and that if it ever does happen to me, I would hope that countries like Holland carry on and have these ceremonies every year.
Stand in a cemetery with 8,000 American soldiers buried there, I get a feeling inside of a sense of purpose for being in Germany. Being free suddenly becomes very important to me, even more so than it is normally. To know that soldiers have given the ultimate sacrifice gives me more of a feeling of accomplishment as far as being a soldier myself. this is a special day for me, and I would encourage all soldiers to have the opportunity to come to Margraten to do that, because it really gives you a great feeling.
I think it would almost be impossible to relate in words. One would simply have to see it, and once there, you feel it. You have a tremendous feeling of awesomeness and, once again, humility. And certainly a great deal of thanks at that point is owed to our predecessors that stepped forward on those battlefields. And there's no way to describe that without actually being there. I feel I'm a much more complete soldier, because I think ultimately that is a soldier's lot in life, is to be prepared to give it his all.
The first time I came here, I was so impressed with just the feeling you got with knowing where you're in the presence of so many, in my feeling, immortal souls. And I get so excited, even as a bandmaster, getting in front of the band and knowing that the people out here are for the same reason that I'm here, and that's to rededicate ourselves to freedom and the feeling that we get. I know these same men have worn this uniform that I've got, and they gave the ultimate sacrifice, and it's the least I can do, and I will continue to do so as long as I live.
The men that gave their lives for the country, in their memory, we were there to put wreaths on the grave, and it's a tradition that we need to continue. I got a sense of great pride to be able to be there, and I hope that we I'll never have to do that again, but it's important for us to show our respect for them, for what they did. And I was talking to the people there today from around these communities. I talked to one lady who adopted 2 of the graves out there, and they stood there, and it was very important to them. It showed me how important it really is by the impression I got from the people out there.
Our Heavenly Father, we bow here in the quietness of this moment to honor the memory of General Maurice Rose. He was a soldier, a spearheader, a leader, a division commander. As we reflect on the past, we remember the dreams that caused America to be born, and the patriots who lived and died to keep those dreams alive.
The price of peace cannot be paid by earlier generations. Each generation, including our own, must earn it. We cannot rest upon the sacrifices made by the men buried here. We must honor the lesson that eternal vigilance is the price of freedom.